Good evening, everyone. My name is Neelam Malkani, and I'm going to be your facilitator and educator for CAT and other management exams. Do you aspire to be an international business executive and want to understand the nitty-gritty of export and import? Or do you wish to understand the foreign trade management of the country and explore the world of trade and commerce? If your answer is yes, then IIFT is the institute for you. Indian Institute of Foreign Trade, that was set up by Government of India in 1963 to professionalize the foreign trade management of the country, has been a pioneering institute for international management. The institute has been a catalyst for new ideas, concepts, and skills for professionalizing the atmosphere of foreign trade management. In today's session, I'm going to give you comprehensive information about IIFT, the exam, which is going to be conducted in January 2021. So let's get started with today's session, that is Orientation to IIFT. Before that, let me give you a brief introduction of myself. My name is Neelam Ma'am, and I possess around 12 years of experience of test preparation industry. I have trained around 20,000 students who are preparing for CAT, GMAT, GRE, SAT, IELTS and TOEFL. My areas of expertise have been verbal ability and English, critical reasoning. I have also designed and set assessment papers of English and reasoning for various government bodies as well as for professional bodies of different states. For a brief period of time, I worked as an examiner of English for an international organization. Very recently, I have authored a comprehensive book of English focused on the preparation of competitive exams. The book is written in both Hindi and English. The video is brought to you by An Academy, India's largest online learning portal for the preparation of competitive exams. Let me take you to its portal and tell you how you can be part of this. First, you have to go in the Play Store and download An Academy Learning app. After downloading the app and filling all the details, you will be shown 3 major courses, plus free courses and special classes. So after downloading this app, you will be able to attend classes which are freely available, as well as the classes which are special classes taken up by same educators who take plus courses classes. You will have to choose the course that you are targeting. If you are targeting CAT, you will have to go in that category, and then you will be shown all the features that you will be availing after you subscribe to this course. Features such as 30 hours of live sessions every day. With single subscription, you will be able to see all these sessions as per your availability, as per your suitability, and as per your choice. You can choose your educator, you can choose the time of your classes and attend these classes. So this is the liberty we enjoy with an online portal. These courses, which are delivered by top 14 educators, those educators who have wealth of experience of guiding and mentoring students in their respective domains. The courses are designed by those people who have extensive experience of module and curriculum designs. The courses are divided into concepts as well as practice. You will be given ample exercises to build your concepts. Every month you will see a new course being launched on an academy. So the exam, if an exam has new concept or new part or new dimension which is going to be tested or which is going to be incorporated, a new course which is catering to the needs of that specific exam. So you don't actually skip any part of these exams. After you go in the subscription, you will be shown all the modules of subscription. If you are targeting crash course for an exam, you can go for 1 month. If you're targeting 1 year program, then you can go for 1 year subscription. So as per your needs or as per your plan for the exams preparation, you can choose these models. Now, whichever subscription you decide to go with, if you type Neelam, the code Neelam, you'll be able to avail 10% further discount. All right, so that's all about Unacademy. So don't waste your time. Go in your Play Store, download Unacademy and start attending special classes. If you start liking these classes, you can go for subscription. All right. Now let's get started with today's session. As I said, IIFT, Indian Institute of Foreign Trade. The notification has been given, is out, and now the exam is going to be conducted in January 2021. So the academic year of IIFT, that is going to be 2021 to 23. The exam is going to happen in 2021. 24th of January, the date has been decided. That means you have ample time for the preparation. Right after you are done with CAT, you can start focusing on IIFT, because IIFT has different pulse. IIFT has different requirements. IIFT will be kind of a different exam than CAT, right? So you will have to shift your focus on IIFT, and you have ample time for that. So January is a date for exam, 24th of January. The time is going to be for 2 hours, and afternoon slot 3 to 5 p.m. has been decided. There is no sectional time limit. So in total you will be given 2 hours. In that duration only you have to attempt all 4 sections. Now the process has been started. The process started from 6th of November, and that's going to last till 20th of December. So if you decide to take this exam and compete for this exam, you can fill in the form. Now it's going to be an online exam this year, unlike paper-based exam, which IIFT has always chosen to be. Now this year it has decided to go online, and the exam is going to be computer-based exam. Instead of giving the task of designing the paper to the faculty members of IIFT, this year this task has been assigned to National Testing Agency, one more autonomous government body which has been set up by HRD Ministry to test different exams in India, or to conduct different exams in India, right? So IIFT and government institution has given this task of conducting IIFT exam to another government organization, National Testing Agency, NTA, right? Now, another thing that makes IIFT very special is that other than overall cutoff, it also takes care of your sectional cutoff. So if there are 4 sections, you will have to perform equally well in all these sections. Of course, the sectional cutoff are going to differ, right? But you will have to showcase your proficiency in all these sections. So there are going to be section cutoff as well as overall cutoff. After the IIFT 2021 entrance exam, the final selection will be based on an essay, WAT, that is writing assessment test. 20 minutes, you will be given a topic. You will have to express that topic in a standard written form. You will be evaluated on the basis of how well you have written and presented your ideas. Essay followed by a group discussion. Now, in few years, in 2018 as well as in 2019, instead of giving a topic to discuss, IIFT started giving a case slate, right? So case study, a small case was given to the group, and they had to come up with a feasible solution which could address the problem very well. So they have brought this change, but it is going to be conducted in a form of a GD only. They are given a caselet. All the participants will be given a caselet. They will have to discuss that. But there is a slight difference. There is a slight change which they have brought in 2018 and 2019. And the final stage is going to be the interview. Personal interview is going to be the final stage. All right. So now let's talk about the 3 campuses. Now this year, IIFT has announced the commencement of the campus in Kakinada, Andhra Pradesh. Though it is subject to the approval of authorized body, it has not been approved yet because the campus is not ready. Because of COVID, the entire preparation got stalled, and that is why the campus is not ready, as well as they haven't got the approval yet. Yet they have explicitly stated, if By the exam process is done, if they get this approval, 60 students intake is going to be in Kakinada campus as well, right? So Delhi has 258 approved seats, Calcutta campus has 253, and Kakinada has 60. So overall you have 571 allotted seats in IIFT 3 campuses, right? And last year in 2019, there were 404 final admissions. So they did not actually fill in all the seats which were approved. Even last year, there were only 404. So that means they are very, very selective about the kind of students they want to get admission in their institute. All right. So here you can see 570 seats, whereas the taker of IIFT is around 40,000 or 50,000. 40,000 to 50,000. This number varies every year, but this has been in this threshold, right? So 570 seats, 40,000 or 45,000 students. So you can see the ratio. So possibly one of the reasons that may encourage you to take this exam. Now what courses are offered? As I said, as the institute name itself suggests, it is for international business or foreign trade. So MBA in International Business is its flagship course, which is offered by IIFT, all campuses. This flagship course is a 6th tri-semester general management residential program with a focus on international business, right? The program aims at providing a comprehensive coverage incorporating all the important areas and disciplines relevant to international business activities. As I said, this institute has been at the forefront of international business education. You have another institute, SIIB, Symbiosis Institute of International Business. There is one course offered by KG Somaya. Other than these institutes, you don't have a very good institute offering international business. And IIFT tops among all these institutes which are offering international business, right? So it is on par with IIMs in terms of its academic rigor and ranking, right? So in that, it is something which is, the position of IIFT is surely enviable, all right? So this is the core, which is the flagship course. Other courses are also offered by all two campuses so far. Executive program in international business, certificate program in international business, and this year they have also started MA in economics. All right, so if some of you are interested in furthering your career in economics, you can also think about taking admission in this course in IIFT. Now, how the shortlisting is going to happen? The highest weightage has been given to IIFT exam score. So if you score very well in IIFT exam and clear section cutoff as well as overall cutoff, 73% will be devoted to the IIFT exam score. Now, there are two more criteria on which IIFT is going to shortlist you. One is academic and gender diversity. In order to maintain their ranking and in order to incorporate students from different academic disciplines as well as from genders, they have started giving weightage, 7% weightage to academic and gender diversity, right? So female participants will be encouraged to apply and they will be given preference. Academic diversity means, as we all know, all these B school classrooms are tilted in favor of engineering students. There is a huge preponderance of engineering students in all management school classrooms. And that is how the whole contribution or the whole learning is quite lopsided. Hence, in order to bring that parity in their classrooms, they have started giving preference to those students who come from diverse disciplines. Somebody who is from commerce background, science background, a person who has done a professional course like CA or CS. These people will be given preference, right? And this has been actually initiated by all management schools in India. Except IIM Calcutta, all IIMs have started giving preference to academic disciplines, the diversity of academic disciplines, right? Shillong, though it's not the top IIM, nonetheless, it has the highest academic diversity. Only 44% students are from engineering background in Shillong. I'm Shillong. So that's how you see that most of the B schools are now striving to have more and more gender parity as well as academic discipline parity in their classrooms. Third criteria on which you will be shortlisted is your excellent performance in class 10 and class 12 percentage. So that will be given 20% weightage. So if you have not scored very well in 10th and 12th grades, you possibly want to reconsider the option of taking this exam, right? So now your academics, possibly a lot of people, a lot of students believe that if they perform very well in their entrance exam, in their aptitude test, what they did before should not be considered. But most of the B schools are going to do that. IIFT is also one of them. So reconsider if you have not scored very well in your 10th and 12th classes, because 20% is still huge weightage. Alright, now final selection will be based on your performance in IIFT exam, the entrance exam. WAT and GD will be given 15% weightage, and PI, your performance in person interview, will be given 20% weightage. On the basis of this, the final merit list will be taken up and you will be given admission letter. Alright, so I hope we are clear so far. Now let's see the exam pattern of IIFT. IIFT this year has decided to give you 4 sections. Unlike earlier years when IIFT used to have 6 sections, there were subsections of verbal ability, there was subsection of ELA, right? Now it has kind of streamlined the entire structure and the pattern. Now VARC is going to be 1 section and it will have 35 questions. Each question will carry 3 marks. Total 105 marks will be devoted to VARC, right? DILR again is going to be 1 section this year, 30 questions, 3 marks, total 90 questions, 90 marks for DILR. Quantitative aptitude, 25 questions, 3 marks each, 75 marks total. Now GA and GK. So the section which you may not have seen in any other management exams, but it has been a part and parcel of IIFT. Since it targets a specific management program, international business, so this exam expects from you that you have basic understanding of India's geography, India's history, ports, some other information which is vital to business, trade and commerce. Alright, so for this you will have to read newspaper thoroughly. If you are reading newspaper consistently, you may not have to prepare for this section separately because the cutoff of this section is going to be very low. Alright, 20 questions of GK and GA, and each question will carry 1.5 mark. So that means differential marking is there. Other sections will have 3 marks, whereas GK's section question will carry 1.5 marks. Total 30 marks for GK. So overall, you have to do 110 questions in 120 minutes for 300 marks. Alright, 110 questions to be done in 120 minutes. 2 hours is the duration. Okay, now let's talk about the cutoff last year. Now you can see the cutoff of IIFT in 2019, 18 and 17. There are 6 sections. As I said, DILR used to be different section and VARC used to be separate section. So 2020 was the year they brought in this change and they have continued with this change this year as well. So DI last year, the cutoff in 2020 was 22. The GK only 5 marks. So out of 20 questions, if you could score 5 marks, your cutoff is clear. RC 34 marks, right? So you can see out of 105 marks, which are for VARC, if you clear 34, so your section cutoff is clear. QA, that is quantitative aptitude, 15 marks. So these were the section cutoff. overall cutoff last year was 138. If you have this overall cutoff, you will be shortlisted for second phase. Now, as I said, gender, in order to increase the gender parity in the classrooms, women are encouraged to participate. Women are encouraged to apply to IIFT. So, -2 will be whatever cutoff is there has been decided by IIFT for that particular year. -2, that marginal benefit will be given to women. So if it is 138 for general category, it's going to be 136 for women. So women must feel encouraged to apply to this college. Now, since it's a government institution, it also gives reservation to other backward classes as well as to economically backward section. So for them, the cutoff is going to be further lower. For SC/ST, it was around 89. For economically weaker section, it was 115. So if you come from that section, you should attach your certificate when you apply, when you fill in your application. You should definitely substantiate your claim that you come from this section, because ultimately you are going to avail this benefit. All right. So this is about cutoff. I hope the section as well as the cutoff is clear. So it's a low cutoff exam. Earlier it was around 40, 45, 50, because earlier the overall marking was from 100. The total marks were 100. And that is why it was very low cutoff exam. So there used to be the overall cutoff of 44, 45. Now it is 130. It is 300, so it is 138. It is still low cutoff exam, right? Now, why IIFT? As I said, if you are inclined to be an international business executive and want to understand export and import, and you have always been fascinated about international business, international trade, then IIFT is the institute for you. But other than that, those who have not thought about international business, or who have never, this whole idea of getting into international business has not crossed their mind, then what reasons are there which make IIFT an attractive option? So let's start talking about those things which make IIFT a desirable college. The ranking of the institution has been consistently high. So I have taken up the ranking of 3 institutes. So MHRD, that is the Ministry of Human Resource Development of India, which conducts this survey every year and ranks colleges as per their prestige, as per their campus placements, or as per the academic program, as well as for their faculty members. Has given 26th ranking to IIFT, right? It is one of the top 50 colleges ranked by Education Ministry of India. So that itself is irrefutable. Second, Business Today has ranked the institute at top 11 institute. So Business Today, which possibly has better understanding of business environment and economic scenario of India, has given the 11th ranking to IIFT. 26 is possibly not the justified ranking of IIFT, because it is on par with IIMs, top IIMs. So 26, nonetheless, since it's given by government institution, so you can see that it is authentic. Same time, Business Standard magazine has given the ranking to IIFT in its group Super League 1. So it actually creates cluster of college in Group League 1, Super League 1, then Super League 2, and the League 3. So that's how they have started segregating colleges as per their rigor, as per their ranking. So it ranks among Super League Group 1, right? So it itself is a testimony to the excellence of IIFT. Consistently, ever since it was set up in 1963, this has been a pioneer of international trade and business, right? And the curriculum of the institution is based on deep, comprehensive research. And for its updated curriculum only, institute has been able to manage this ranking. All right. So one of the reasons that I would definitely recommend you to apply to IIFT is its consistent ranking. Second, the placement. Of course, economic constraint or economic dimension is one of the most important things we consider when we think about taking admission in a specific college. So let's talk about placements. So there's the placement report, which has been published by the college itself on its website. You can go and check, and all of them are audited and verified. International placement, since the college offers international trade or international business program, there are companies based in Singapore, based in Dubai, and other countries which are trading countries, which are based on trade and commerce. They come to the campus and select students. So the highest package last year was 75 lakhs, right? So that itself is a staggering amount for an institute based in India. So international placement, 75 lakhs. Domestic placement was 46. That is again on par with those offered by IIMs. All right. Average placement was 20 lakh, whereas median placement is 18.2. Now, median placement can be understood by imagining a situation where 50% students are below this figure and 50% students are above this figure, right? So you see that 50% student from 571, okay, 571 was a seat allotted, 400 something. So 200 students were above this figure and 200 students were below this figure. So that's the figure which actually gives you the correct reflection of the placement scenario. And the placement scenario seems to be very good. Now, some of the top recruiters include Export Trading Group, Lenskart, United Health Group, Paytm. You can see these recruiters, the list of recruiters on the website of IIFT. International Management Strategy, okay, different domains. Like now, we all have this preconceived notion about IIFT that only trading or international business, these companies only come and recruit students. But you will see most of the students get recruited by consulting, and those companies which are into finance and marketing. You would see when you see the placement report, you would see most of these firms were marketing firms, right? So don't come into this illusion that just because IIFT is for international business, you are only going to be placed in a company which is into trade and commerce of international arena. No, you can also get placed by a company which is into core marketing and finance. All right. So if that is your inclination, you can still think about getting into IIFT or taking this exam. The best thing about IIFT is that all three campuses, if it becomes operational this year, Kakinada campus becomes operational this year, all three campuses will have collective placements. Unlike Narsimunji, where Bangalore and Mumbai placements happen separately because the cutoff is different, the place is different, the companies are different. Hence, the person who is facing placement in Mumbai, Narsimunji, or Bangalore, they will have to go through a different process altogether, right? But here in IIFT, there is going to be collective placements. So the companies will have entire pool of applicants, entire pool of students who are studying in IIFT, both the campuses or all three campuses, right? So you have equal opportunity. The sum and substance of this is you have equal opportunity. Just because you are in Kolkata campus or Kakinada campus does not mean that you won't be given level playing field. No, you will be given equal opportunities, right? So that is the best benefit. PPO is also offered, and that is also best in the industry, right? So that's another reasons. That's one more reason. Whole placement scenario as well as collective placement makes IIFT so desirable. Now, why IIFT? Some more reasons. Higher number of seats. So they have increased the number of seats, and now because of induction of Kakinada campus, the higher number of seats, that means around 40,000 takers are going to be competing for 571 seats. So that way you can see the ratio and you can see that how many students are actually competing for a one seat of IIFT. So that way, since there is a limited pool of applicants who are going to apply to IIFT, you can see that the competition is going to be less. Fee for general and OBC category is going to be 8.85 per annum, right? So around 9 lakh rupees per annum. So 18 lakh rupees you will have to spend for 2 years MBA. Whereas, as I discussed, the median package was somewhere around 18.2. So that means your package is going to be for 1 year, your fee is going to be for 2 years, right? So the fee that is going to be around 18 years, you will be able to recoup that fee in a 1 year only, since we believe the placement report 18.2 is the median salary. So the ROI is also good. In 1 year only, you can recoup entire investment you have put in studying in IIFT. 50% relaxation in fee, tuition fee for SC/ST and physically weaker section, right? So these candidates will be given 50% relaxation in their tuition fee only, not other fee, right? Now, exam is going to happen in January, so you have enough time for the preparation. The best part is you are going to have enough time for the preparation once you are done with CAT, and then you possibly do not have any exam because that notification is not out here, though it usually happens in the first week of January. First Sunday of January is always reserved for that, but this year the notification is not out. So you won't have any exam which is going to divide your attention, divide your focus. You possibly must have taken your date for SNAP. You must have already taken your attempt for NMAT. Now you can completely focus on IIFT. The institute is based in Delhi and Kolkata if you want to go for another campus to Delhi. So NCR, that's always a preferred location for students. So that makes all the more reason for you to think about IIFT. Low scoring exam, as I said earlier, this year 138 out of 300, right? So 138 overall. Section cutoff is also very low. We saw that plus 5 was the section cutoff for GK out of 20 questions. 40,000 applicants, 40,000 applicants, so competition is less, as we already talked about this. The difficulty level of the exam. So difficulty level of the exam is quite manageable. It used to be a very tough exam. Gradually, they started declining the difficulty level, right? So the difficulty level is quite manageable. If you talk about quant, arithmetic is one topic which is frequently tested. Around 30% questions from quantitative aptitude section will be from arithmetic only. So if you conquer that topic thoroughly, if you practice that enough, if you consolidate all the concepts of arithmetic, you can be in a fairly confident position to score well in quantitative aptitude. You will see logical reasoning, questions like syllogism, questions like course of action, questions like assumption and strengthening and weakening appearing in logical section, Venn diagram, very basic reasoning, basic form of reasoning or basic questions of reasoning. Unlike CAT, which does not test your concept of syllogism, logical consistency, IIFT has been giving questions on those topics. So it's fairly manageable. As well as, I'm going to talk about verbal ability in detail, so I'm not talking about that section here. I'm going to have another slide dedicated to verbal ability. So the point here is difficulty level is quite manageable. The exam is easier than CAT. The exam is easier than ZAP, right? So that is why you should think about taking this exam. It's a speed-based exam, 120 minutes, 110 questions, right? So it's apparently a speed-based exam, right? So what you have to showcase is your time management skill. Of course, your accuracy is important because you will have to score well in all the sections, and then you will have to score very well in one or two sections in order to get higher score to clear overall cutoff. So that is how the strategy should be panned out, but it's a speed-based exam because there is no sectional time limit, and you have to clear all the sections, right? So if you spend too much time in a section, you are going to lose cutoff of next section. let's say GK. So if you give inordinate importance to three sections, quantitative aptitude, ELA and verbal, and do not focus much on GK, and you won't clear the cutoff because all the questions that you have marked are wrong. You won't clear the cutoff, you won't be shortlisted. Since the section has been given importance in the exam pattern, you will have to give due importance to the section in your preparation as well. So don't take it very lightly. It's a speed-based exam, but same time, you will have to manage time very well. Start preparation for your GK. As I said, if you see previous papers of IIFT, you will understand what kind of GK it wants to test, what kind of general information, general knowledge it wants you to have, right? So how much awareness you have about the ports of India, how much awareness you have about different raw material which are found in the different parts of India, right? Which commodity is exported most from India, which commodity is imported, different parts of the world which are famous for different commodities. So something which has huge bearing on the course that you are going to undertake in the college, right? And you are expected to know all these things. Then some other things about the best authors, maybe the books which were in limelight, or the books which won some awards, the Pulitzer Prize winner book, maybe Nobel Prize laureates, and some other developments in the politics, and some other developments in social political scenario of the country. So something which you are expected to know as a management aspirant. All right. So don't get intimidated just because GK is going to be there in this exam, and that must not be the reason for you to skip this exam. It can easily be managed. One, you are already expected to know all these things, so don't take it as a burden. Start preparing for this section. Start reading newspaper, start watching KBC. This is the best time to have KBC. You can prepare for IIFT because most of the questions are drawn from contemporary affairs, contemporary issue. They are based on the issues which are happening now. So start watching that. Start gathering your GK by taking quizzes, right? Take quiz of 10 questions every day. Revise that next day and take another quiz. So that way, going piecemeal in that direction, building upon your GK, building upon your information, you will see that you did not prepare, yet you actually prepared. All right? So, speed-based exam, as I said, but you have to showcase your time management skill because you have to clear cutoff. Now, VARC, as I said, I'm going to talk about this separately. Reading comprehension. Consistently, you will see 14 to 16 questions in VARC, reading comprehension section. So, 4 RCs, number of questions may differ, but 4 to 5 questions each RC. Overall, you will see 14 to 16 questions from reading comprehension. The best part is the RC are very long, though they seem to be very complicated and difficult, but they are very easy to read, understand, and finding answers, because they are mostly factual. They are written in a very factual tone. So you will see questions and you can then start scanning the passage to find your answer. That strategy is very much workable for RCs of IIFT. So whenever we prepare students in classroom for IIFT passages, so IIFT passages have different characteristics. They are always lengthy, they are always factual. Most of the time they are factual in nature. The questions are easy to find. They just pose challenge for you because they seem to be difficult. They seem to be lengthy. They are lengthy. They seem to be difficult because of the length, right? But they are actually not abstruse in their style. They are not dense, right? So reading comprehension, easy to moderate. You can easily attempt these questions, reading comprehension, because there are 30 questions, highest number of questions for verbal ability, and because highest number of questions are there in verbal ability, the marks are also high. So this could be a scoring part. Analogies, word relationship, 2 words are there, relationship has to be figured out, and the same relationship has to be ascertained in the given answer here. I hope all of you understand what analogy questions are. So here, Understanding of words, vocabulary, and their usage, as well as what relationship they share with each other. So, greater understanding of words. Now, words, you may find some of the words which appeared in earlier papers of IIFT tough, because sometimes they drew questions from Greek mythology, from Latin phrases, which are not very commonly used in English. So you may find them unfamiliar, you may find them tough, but eventually when you read all these questions and when you try to acquaint yourself with these foreign phrases, you may find yourself familiar with these phrases as well, right? So do IFT IFT papers, so that you are more familiar with the kind of questions which appear in IIFT. Parajumble, very easy, quite manageable. You will see very small sentences coming. Sometimes they don't give you the parajumble in the way they appear in other exams. They are very simple. A line is there and some part is given as A, other part is B, some part is C. You will have to rearrange them. So one line is fragmented, is given in a different segments. You will have to understand how they should be arranged. Very easy questions. Grammar, that's another fixation of IIFT. It will definitely test your grammar. Some hardcore concepts like tenses, your subject-verb agreement, article prepositions. So, although you should cover all the concepts of grammar, but if you want to be in a safe situation or if you want to be selective, because for CAT you did not prepare for grammar, now for IIFT, SNAP and NMAT you must prepare for grammar section, grammatical accuracy. If you focus on these 3 to 4 concepts, you will be in a fairly good position to score in this exam. Vocabulary, different kinds of words, different kinds of word-based questions, right? Could be synonym, it could be antonym. Last year, it gave you a word puzzle, right? So puzzle, as we saw the puzzle in newspaper, the same form, the puzzle was given in the paper and there were 4 definitions. The words were given, the options were given. As per the definition, which word would come in that puzzle, that had to be filled in. Quite complicated and the words were also difficult. So for vocabulary, you will have to work very hard. Idioms, so idiomatic expressions, certain phrases, certain fixed expressions which are used as they are. They are not supposed to be fiddled with. So how the idiom can be completed. So you need to understand these idioms and then you need to have an eye for these fixed expressions. Then only you will be able to figure out that this specific word is to be filled in. FIB, it may be based on vocabulary, it may also be based on grammar, both, right? So FIB, if it is based on vocabulary, you will have to fill in the words. If it is based on grammar, you will have to furnish the correct grammatical expression. So this is how the composition of VARC goes. 16 questions based on passages. That means out of 35, 50% is still reading comprehension only. So this is the part which you cannot afford to ignore. You will have to focus on this section, and for that you will have to practice separately. For CAT passages, you had a different strategy, you had a different style, you had a different format of practice, but now for this you will have to fine-tune your strategy, right? The passages are going to be lengthy, the passages are going to be factual, and the passages are going to be easy to read and understand. You will have to build on your speed. Other questions here, I will ask you to focus on your vocabulary. All the parts you will be in a position to manage very easily. But vocabulary is something that you will have to get some momentum. You will see IIFT previous year papers. You will understand why I am saying this about vocabulary. All right. So I hope we are clear with the information about IIFT. I hope I gave you all the facts and figures related to IIFT exam, college, campus, what makes IIFT a desirable institute, and what is it in IIFT that makes it one of the prestigious institutions of India, and what is it that makes it most attractive for you to take it, right? With that, I come to the end of today's session. In coming days, I'll make one session dedicated to IIFT GK and IIFT verbal ability. I'll show you some words which have appeared, vocabulary based questions which have appeared in previous year IIFT papers, so that you have a clear idea about what kind of questions you can expect this year and what strategy you will have to evolve eventually in order to do well in IIFT. All right. So keep looking for IIFT based session on this channel, and do let me know if you got benefited by this session and I could give you some information about IIFT, and do share with me your feedback and your thoughts about what session you want me to cover in coming days. Thank you very much.